Afternoon, everybody. This is Michelle Kuna coming to you from Aftercare Nursing in Lancaster, doing the videos that we all love to see and I do not like making. Sorry, but with COVID still being predominant in our world, I'm not able to pull us all together. I was really hoping this summer we would be able to do something different, but it's not looking like that. So we're going to continue along this way. I'm going to apologize right now because this video is going to be lengthier than the normal ones because we have a lot to cover. I know that for about half of you, most of what I'm going to say today does not apply, but for the rest of you, it does. And I need everybody to really please listen and hear what I'm saying. And, please know that if you have any questions, you want to talk, just dial the 716-894-777 number and ask for me. If I'm not available, leave me a message. I do the best I can to call everybody back that same day. Over the course of the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of things that in our lifetimes we never should see. And I want you guys to understand and know that we are here for each other. And you know what, just give me a call. I have been trying to call everybody just to say, hey, are you okay? But it's a lot of people to call. So there are days that the calls are a little bit slower than I would like. So, just give me a call. Let me know how you're doing and let me know what we can do to help. Now, with that being said, I have a lengthy list here to review. So let's start off with, what number do I call? Call 716-894-777 number. Do not call because I know that, our coordinators, our scheduling coordinators call you from cell phones. I know our RN supervisors will call you from cell phones. Do not call those numbers back unless you are directed and asked to call those numbers back. Call 716-894-7777. It is so important for you to call that number. We've seen it a lot, and I mean a lot, where people are saying, well, I called, nobody picked up, I called, I did this, I did that, nobody picked up. But you're not calling the 716-894-7777 number, 4 sevens, guys. You're not calling that number. You're calling back, maybe it's what we call a bypass line that's used during the week, and there's nobody there to get that bypass line. Maybe you're calling back somebody who's, on vacation. That's why it's important to call the 716-894-777 number. What should you be calling us for? You should be calling us to tell us about, any change in condition your client has. If your client isn't normally sneezing, hey, my client's sneezing. And that's just a simple example of a change in condition. Maybe your client normally eats, a really big meal while you're there. Well, he's not really eating that much today. You should be calling and reporting those items. You should be calling and telling us any issues in the client's home. For example, if the client has no water, should be calling and letting us know that. Again, what number should you be calling? 716-894-777 number. You should be calling. The call-off time for your shift, if you're calling in, is 4 hours prior to your start time. 4 hours, not 10 minutes after the shift starts. Because moving forward, that will not be considered unless it's an emergency, such as I was in a car accident on my way to work. Unless it's an emergency, you're calling in 10 minutes after your shift starts, we can start to be considered a no-call, no-show, because those are extreme. They are out of control. No-call, no-shows are out of control. It takes usually 37 seconds to call and say, I'm not coming to work. So please call and say, I'm not coming to work. Be mindful of those things. Call 4 hours before your shift starts. These are the type of items that, and especially if you have to go in and relieve somebody, now your relief is upset. Be mindful of all of this. 4 hours before, call off. Don't be a no-call, no-show. When you're calling during non-business hours, the 716-894-777 number, seriously, you have to listen to the entire message and wait for a live person. Their average call time, on a serious note, average call time is 42 seconds before you get to a person. Sometimes it's quicker, sometimes it's longer. You have to wait for a live person. You can't just say, oh, it's an answering service and hang up the phone. You have to wait for a live person. I do, and I have heard over the last 6 weeks, maybe a half a dozen complaints about how long somebody is waiting. But you know what? If you get beyond like 4 or 5 minutes and no live person, hang up, dial again. Hang up, dial again until you get a live person, but you need to listen to the entire message. You can't say, oh, I'm getting an answering service and hang up, or this is an answering machine and hang up. You have to wait for a live person. Okay? So it's a 716-894-7777 number. Okay? 4 sevens. Make sure that you do that because, you know, it's important. You have to talk to a live person. During the week, don't leave messages that you're calling off. If you're not coming in, and today's a great example, you're late to call off for your 3 o'clock shift right now because it's about 1:15 when I'm making this video. So, but if you're calling off now for 5 o'clock, well, I'm too late for that one too. If you're calling off for a 6 o'clock shift, and you're calling in right now, and all the coordinators are on the phone, ask to be, you know, can I please wait for somebody? Or say, I'll call back in 2 minutes. Don't leave a message that you're calling off. Because when you leave a message, now everybody should be checking their messages regularly, but if they have a busy afternoon and they're on the phone all day long, nobody knows you're calling off. You have to speak to somebody if you are calling off, okay? If you're running late, please call and say, hey, I'm running 15 minutes late. I'm running 30 minutes late. Please make sure that you do that. And what number are we going to call? 716-894-7777 number. Okay? Please make sure that you're calling. That's just courtesy, guys. Come on, you know, call, I'm running late. Hey, I'm doing this. You know, you let us know. So if you are relieving somebody, we can let them know that you're running late, or we can at least let the client know who's sitting there waiting on you, hey, they're running late, okay? It really is just a courtesy, please. And I have a huge favor to ask everybody, please do not block our calls. If the on-call, if the schedulers are calling you that much and it's that annoying, then please send me an email or call me. Okay, but don't block our calls, because especially if you're working for us, because there may be something else going on that I need to speak to you about. These videos are a prime example. There could be anything, but don't block us. Okay, if it's that overwhelming or that many are coming through, then please call and say, hey, Michelle, I'm so-and-so, or call Doreen. Doreen, you know what? I'm so-and-so. This is ridiculous. I must get 5 calls a day. Do something along those lines, but don't block us. Okay, there are times that we are going to have to reach you for whatever reason it may be, and we can't do that if we're blocked. All right, so make sure that we do that. Next subject, and for those of you who've been with me a long time, thank you for your continuous employment, and thank you for being with me through all of this. And can't express, you know, how much it means to me and how much I miss seeing everybody. So for some of you, you're kind of like, Michelle, you're repeating the same thing. I know. I like to repeat the same thing at least once a year, but I have to. So, you know, can't help it, guys. It's a good reminder. Everybody works for Aftercare. I work for Aftercare. You work for Aftercare. We do not work for the client or the client's family. So if the family has issues, they need to call Aftercare. They need to call 716-894-7777. Okay? They should not be calling you on your personal cell phone. Don't give that number out. You know, they need to call if there's an issue in the home. I will also request and ask very nicely if the family says to you, hey, I really like you here. You're really nice. I want you to stay on, but you're not comfortable in the home, have no intentions of ever going back. Please don't tell them, oh my God, yeah, I love you. Of course I can pick up more shifts here. I can't tell you, because for those of you, a lot of you were pretty good at least about calling and saying, hey, I never want to go back there again. And then, not even an hour later, I get a phone call from family, but they said they loved it here, and of course we're not telling them that, hey, they don't like you, they never want to come back again. We're saying, hey, her schedule's full. She can't, I'm sorry. She was filling in to help out. So, if a family approaches you like that and you really have no intentions of ever wanting to go back there, say, you know what, I have to check my schedule. Please call Aftercare and let them know. And then when you leave, you call and say, hey, I just told them I was going to check my schedule. Not that that you absolutely adored them. Of course, you're going to come back. You're going to work 50 hours a week for them. Please don't do that. And I know how difficult it is to be one-on-one in a home without support. But, when the family approaches you and asks for, can you come back? Oh, I want this done, but it's not, it's not on the care plan. Then all you need to do is say, please call Aftercare. And then you call us as well, 716-894-7777, okay? Make sure everybody does that. Don't give them your cell phone number, please. Remember, you work for Aftercare. So everything needs to come in and, everything needs to come through us. Schedule changes, everything, okay? Be mindful of all of that, please. The other thing too, and I know it's frustrating, our world that we live in is very frustrating and upsetting some days, but please don't call and yell at people, anybody in the office. And then if anybody in the office is calling and yelling at you, you need to call me immediately. Okay? There is no yelling, there is no screaming. Just be nice to each other. If your problem is that severe, you need to call and ask for myself. You need to call and ask for Kathleen. You need to call and ask for Mary. That's what we're here for, okay? I don't want to hear yelling from anybody. So, we can always sit down and work something out and sit down and talk about it. All right, next one. No smoking while you're at work. And the next one, for some of you are going to say, did she serious just say that? Please leave your weed at home. I'm getting complaints from clients that, my aide is here and they smell like weed. Be mindful, I understand weed is illegal, but you got to work. And maybe you didn't smoke it, eat it, whatever. But if it's in an open bag in your purse, what do you smell like? Weed. So be mindful, guys. We have these discussions about, are you letting somebody in your home, coming in the home that's carrying a pillow and a blanket? You're like, no, they're going to go to sleep. Are you going to let somebody in the home that smells like the party that you were at the night before? And they're like, no, I'm not. We've had these discussions. You're going into somebody's home to take care of their most important someone. So stop and think about what you're letting in your home. If you won't let it in your home, then don't go do it to somebody else, please. That's all I'm asking. Cell phones. That has been our biggest complaint, one of our biggest complaints for 2 years. And we allow you to have cell phones. If you take a look at any other company, any other organization, you'll see, well, I don't know, I see people on their phones, but they're not allowed. So if cell phones are not allowed, but we allow you to have your cell phones. One is it's a tool and a resource because, we'll get to this later so you can complete your timesheet and your task. Two is because if there's an emergency, I want you to your family to be able to get in touch with you. I want those people that are important, your most important someone, to be able to reach you in a moment's notice. But the cell phones are not there for you to sit on from 8 to 2 when you're supposed to, and then this is 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, when you're supposed to be taking care of the items on the care plan, fighting with your significant other, fighting with a family member. They're not there because you want to play a video game all day. So please be very mindful of that. We allow them. We allow them as a tool, if the client is sleeping so you don't sleep. I understand. You know, everything's done, they're sleeping, and you get bored. I don't want you to sleep, so definitely use your cell phone. But that doesn't mean from 8 to 2, when the client is awake, even if the client's 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., the client's awake, you're sitting there playing on your cell phone, ignoring the client, not listening to the client, not cleaning, cooking, whatever you're supposed to do doesn't get done. I think that makes sense to everybody. So be very, very mindful about that. As everybody knows, no sleeping in the home. Okay. So a couple of other things. New York state of emergency is still in place for COVID. What does that mean? That means face masks are required. If you are in a client's home, face masks are required. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay. Now, I totally, especially with the hot months coming up here, with our weather, it's going to be hot. It was hot, what, 1 or 2 days last week, and your face mask gets all yucky. Okay. Let me tell you something. I totally understand. I get it. So what have I told everybody? Then go into another room, pull your face mask down so you can get some fresh air, so you can get that relief. But when you're doing care, and if you're sitting in the room with a client, you need to have your face mask on. Okay, I think we can all agree on that. And for a lot of us, we understand that, you know, COVID has been just going to town here in Buffalo in the warmer months. All right. As we continue throughout this year, I really am hoping that some relief comes. We still have all of the same procedures that we started off with COVID and then some. All they just keep doing is adding, not subtracting anything. So you are still required before each of your shifts to answer the questions on the app or receive the phone calls. Those are requirements for us. We have to ask those questions. Okay, I got to be honest with you right now, I don't see them eliminating anything of that nature. Okay. The other thing is the New York State budget. I have been fighting, God, for at least 6 months. So that way we can try to get some type of increase in our rates, so that way we can give all of you increases in your rates. Or every employee, myself included, an increase in rates. It has been a battle with New York State and then some. There is issues with the bonuses that were passed. You know, they say all healthcare workers, but when they defined healthcare workers, they left off personal care aides and home care aides. So there is nothing in there right now. I have not had a chance to look to see what was passed, what's on hold, what hasn't been passed. I know that especially over the course of the last 45 days, I've been really fighting about getting verbiage changed for everybody, because I think it's very important that we, not only as an organization, but we as in New York State, need to make the clarification clear. So like I said, I'm still waiting to hear, because the original verbiage that was put in the budget does not include home care aides or personal care aides. So like I said, I have been fighting. We got some support and some movement, but I don't know. I know that, you know, they were trying to close sessions and trying to approve what they're going to approve and disapprove what they were going to disapprove, but they were in closed doors. So I'm waiting to hear where we moved on that one. HIPAA, we're all healthcare employees. On a different note, yeah, I know it's contradictory. We're all healthcare employees. We are obligated to protect information. You have access to privileged information. I have access to privileged information. Please be mindful of that and protect that information. Please do not do FaceTime in a client's home. Please do not do FaceTime with a client. I don't care if you're in the home or not. Please, when we're calling people, you know, this seems to be, for me personally, I am not a fan of this at all. You know, I have a whole conversation with somebody on speakerphone, and, you know, I'm out in public. I could really care less, you know, walking down the hallway in the grocery store. Oh, yeah, I know. Do you believe what she wore last night? I can't stand it either. Oh, do you know that Jane Smith is smoking this? And do you believe that? You know, she spent all this money, and you know, whole conversations on speakerphone throughout the grocery store. Okay, don't do that. Get clients home. Take the damn phone off a speaker. Seriously. Use a phone. Yeah, okay, thank you. Make it a quick call because you're not supposed to be on your phone anyhow during work. Okay? And also, no FaceTime. None. We've discussed this a lot, you know, with regards to FaceTime, you know, because there's identifiable factors in the background. That's a HIPAA violation. All right? So, no speaker, no FaceTime. Earbuds. No earbuds. If you have two earbuds in your ears, who are you listening to? Because you're not listening to the client. No earbuds. I have said when the client is sleeping, you know, if you put one earbud in because you're watching something on your phone or a tablet, that's fine while your client's sleeping. Otherwise than that, it should be no earbuds, none. And it should only be one earbud when your client's sleeping. So that way, out of the other ear that doesn't have the earbud in, you can hear the client. All right? Those are the type of things. No, stop, please. All right. So we talked about the no sleeping, right? No smoking. As a reminder, anytime you move or you have a change in phone number, please call. And make sure you change your address and change your phone number with us. And do not do anything that's not on a care plan. Please do the care plan. And please don't leave the clients alone. We have a number of clients on the care plan that specifically states, do not leave alone. Don't leave them alone. If you feel the need that you have to go that badly, you need to call. Call what number? 716-894-7777. And you need to call immediately. Allow us an opportunity to get somebody in there to relieve you. Please do not leave them. All right. You know, these are, to me, these are items that I'm asking. I'm not going to ask you to do anything I wouldn't do. I would not put you in hopefully an unsafe situation. I mean, if you feel that it's that unsafe, you need to call. If you don't like the answer somebody else gives, call and ask for myself. Call and ask for Mary Sharp. Call and ask for Kathleen. Okay? You need to call. You need to say, hey, I'm having this issue. Hey, there's a problem. You need to call. Hey, I talked to so-and-so and I did not get any assistance. I can't fix if I don't know something's broken. All right, so please call. All right, big topic now here. EVV, and that's the electronic verification system. You know, it's on your phone. You have to punch in and punch out on an app. That is required by New York State. We have been doing this for about 2 years now. What is occurring? Why is this occurring? Let me give you a little bit of background. What happens here is, and then a lot of you are well aware that we bill Medicaid, okay? Medicaid is the one that pays this organization so we can pay you, all right, for services. Medicaid has come along and due to the fact that fraud has been very bad in New York State, tried to find a way to eliminate fraud. So how do we do that? Well, when people go to a home, they have to punch in and punch out, and that location is geocoded. By geocoded, I mean that, you know, when you punch in and punch out, that location that you're standing in has a list of numbers to say, yep, she's exactly where she needs to be. At this point in time, because of the number of people forgetting to punch in and punch out, the number of people not punching in and punching out, the number of people not using the app, we are well above the error percentage that they will allow. If we cannot bill, that will seriously have other ramifications, okay? So it is required, it is mandatory that you use the app. Now, for those of you who have flip phones, older phones that the app does not run on, you can use a 1-855 number. The 1-855 number needs to be from the client's phone. If the client will not let you use his phone, then use your cell phone and call Aftercare. Those are the only two options. You don't get an option because you don't like it, you don't want to, whatever the case may be, to say, I'm going to keep filling out a paper timesheet. Our error percentage is so far above what the Department, New York State, and the Department of Health will allow, this is not an option. If you are using the app, the care plan is in the app. You need to answer all of those, everything that's on there. Yes, no, refuse. You need to complete everything, and it needs to be completed accurately. You're not going to get in trouble if you don't do 3/4 of the list because, you know what, client refused, no time, whatever the reason is. But it needs to be completed accurately. It needs to be completed before you punch out. Okay? It's all in there. You can complete it as you're doing, you know, as you've done items. But it needs to be done. Get the client's little signature, initials, whatever the case may be, punch out. All while still in the client's home. Not down the street at McDonald's, not down the street at the grocery store, not, you know, halfway to your home because you forgot to do it while you were in the client. You know, punch in when you're in the home, punch out when you're in the client's home and you're leaving. Everything in between needs to be completed in the app. It's not an option, okay? This is not an option. This is a mandatory item from New York State, and we are above the percentage that they are going to allow. What we have been trying to do is reach out to everybody who has missed punches, who has didn't punch in and out at all, who you didn't complete the ask and ask you to turn in a paper timesheet, which is very nice of us. Because it's your responsibility to ensure that, you know, complete the requirements that we've set forth in order to make sure you get paid. But, you know, we're trying to work through this, trying to identify what problems we're having, seeing where we can move forward and go from here. But I have to tell you, I keep hearing, I forgot. We're going to have to follow progressive discipline moving forward. I don't know if you need to set an alarm on your phone. I mean, I know the system, you know, we'll text you, hey, you have 5 minutes to punch in. It does not have an option to say, hey, you have 5 minutes till you punch out, or you're 5 minutes late from punching out, although I've requested one. So, you know, you got to be mindful to do those things. Punch in before you start your job, punch out when you're done with your job. I mean, we've all been to, like, hospitals. We see that they have systems on the wall. You used to see an old thing where you took a little piece of paper and it punched dots on a piece of paper, but that was a real long time ago. Now I'm showing my age. And no comments here, guys. You know, and then we've progressed here. For some places, it's a thumbprint. For some places, it's a handprint. Some places, it's a pinky. I've heard people say that they've been doing eyes lately too, and that's a little much. But we've seen hospitals. That's how they do it. They punch in and punch out like this. Or like this. They don't, you know, they don't sit there on a phone and do this or do that. That's how we do it. All right. We've been trying to reach out to everybody. We've been trying to go through and make sure that, you know, everybody's doing everything that they need to do from this date forward. If you're having issues and problems, you need to reach out to Marina or Brandon. Because when I start reviewing these lists to see the errors that are coming through, moving forward, we will have to start writing people up. And I really don't want to do that. I don't want anybody to have to do that, okay? So set an alarm on your phone to remind you to punch out. Maybe set an alarm on your phone to remind you to punch in and to punch out. You know, 4-hour call-off time. Let's just make sure that we keep moving forward with this. Let's get our numbers more in line so we don't have any issues with with billing or getting paid. I'm sorry, I'm a little dry today, and I'm sitting here talking to myself at a computer. I really don't like this, so anytime soon we want to, you know, get together, I would greatly appreciate it. And what else can I tell you? Couple of things coming up for Aftercare. I would like to try to do something this summer. you know, we all work a variety of different shifts, but I would like for all of us to get together this summer somehow, some way. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it with COVID. I don't know right now, but I would like to try to do something like that, hopefully maybe by the end of summer. For the past couple of years, I'm a big supporter on a personal note of the Alzheimer's group. And in the past couple of years, Aftercare has been, a team from Aftercare has been walking in the Buffalo Walk, Chautauqua Walk, and the Niagara County Walk. And then those dates are, I should have looked them up before I got on the phone, but you can pull them up on the Alzheimer's website, or if you would like to walk with me for one of those walks, just call and let me know what county, and I'll give you the date. Everything's voluntary. You don't get paid for doing it. But yeah, you want to walk because it's something that you believe in. I would love the more the merrier, and I would love the company. So make sure that you reach out to me and let me know, hey, Michelle, I want to walk with you. So I love the company. Just reach out and let me know. Other things that we are looking at doing is, you know, like I said, I want to try to do some type of summer event. I also want to, you know, try to find some way that, you know, even if we do smaller groups, because I do miss seeing everybody, what can we do different? How can I get us back together even, you know, once this year? So thoughts, ideas are appreciated. Let me know. Now, if you have truly watched this entire video, which is really lengthy for me, well, I know I can talk. So you've made it all this way with me. You have to fill out a paper timesheet, and you will get paid for this. And right now it's 30 minutes. I don't think it's quite 30 minutes. I've been talking. So you get paid for 30 minutes, but you have to complete a paper timesheet and write down in service with Michelle on it. Make sure you put your name on it too, so we know who you are, so we can pay you for 30 minutes. But you need to complete a paper timesheet and turn it in. Again, what number are we calling? 716-894-7777. All right. And guys, seriously, I miss seeing everybody, but I am here. All right. If you have a problem at night or on a weekend, you know, feel maybe, you know, the coordinator's not helping you, maybe the RN supervisor's not helping you. All you have to do is say, hey, can you ask Michelle to call me? Can you ask Mary to call me? Can you ask Kathleen to call me? And we will. All right. We all work 24/7. We're always on call. We're always there. All right, everybody. So reminder, I am here. Face mask mandatory, 716-894-7777. And a reminder, you know, we are one team. All right, guys. So thank you if you made it all the way through this. And, you know, thank you for the hard work you guys are doing. And, you know, keep up the great job. And hopefully we'll see each other sometime this summer. Thank you.